Hello, I'm Alex Cooper, and today I will be interviewing my guest here. Please introduce yourself.
My name's Elliot Proctor. I'm at the same university as Alex. I'm studying sports and exercise science. I have 2 years left, and I work far too many hours.
Good. Okay. What was it like moving into university flats then?
It was pretty good. I moved in sort of midday. I'm going to be fully honest myself. I moved in on one of the first days that it was available to, because I was trying to escape my family, full transparency. But no, it was pretty seamless. Maybe that's because it's the third year I've done it. I'm not sure, but no, it was good. It was about what I was expecting. I'm happy I didn't move in on one of the later days, and especially I'm happy I didn't move in until midday because it resembled The Walking Dead. There were a million people trying to move in at the same time, and miss me with that. You see what I mean? So.
It's very different from me because I moved in on the very last day, didn't I?
We didn't know if we had a last flatmate for like 2 weeks, and then I feel like you just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah. Unlike you, I don't really wish to part from my family so soon.
No, I was ready. I think it's just the autonomy that I like.
I like the autonomy too. It's always liberating, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What's your typical day like living in a university flat?
I think as far as students go, I have quite a busy schedule. I think. I know, without sounding conceited. I'm actually barely really in my room. Wake up, go to the gym, train, study. If I'm studying, I'm in the library. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm working maybe 30 hours a week as well. So if I'm being fully honest with myself, I'm really like, I'll have conversations with people out and about, and they'll say, "Yeah, I've been in my room for like 6 hours doing whatnot," and I'm envious because I'm always doing something pretty much.
Yeah, there are those like me who get to spend a lot of time in their room. I do go out a bit sometimes, but most of my time is spent in my room.
Yeah, exactly.
Writing.
The thing is, if you can, why wouldn't you? So,
yeah,
it's your safe space. I can fully understand why you'd say that.
Mm. Yeah. How did you build relationships with your flatmates? Any icebreakers or funny first impressions?
I think some of it, if I'm being fully honest myself, some of it's down to luck. I feel like if you move into a flat full of people that are just a bit constipated, sort of emotionally constipated or socially constipated, then it's going to be very difficult to make friends with people because, naturally they're going to be a bit less open to forming any sort of bonds. But it was quite easy. It was a natural process. I think you just run into people in the kitchen while you make food, don't you? But also, I think on the first week we just had an evening where, again, full transparency. We had some drinks in the kitchen and got chatting. So it was a natural process, I think. But going back to my first point, I think having flatmates that have some sort of that are sort of socially adept helps.
I'm not like that, or I have to force myself into conversations.
The thing is, the positive thing is you're still forcing yourself into that conversation. A lot of people just wouldn't. Do you see it? A lot of people would walk into the kitchen, sort of grab something from the fridge.
Yeah, I consider myself an introvert, clearly, but I always know that there are things you just have to go out and do.
Exactly.
Like introvertuous, if you will.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Let's talk about like the food situation at university. How do you deal with that? Because you have to cook most of your food on your own, don't you?
This is about me specifically. I'm sure it doesn't work for every student, but obviously I'm doing sports exercise science, so a lot of my course is about nutrition. So, financially, I deal with it very well. Again, I'm working far too often, so money really isn't a problem. I try to eat healthy. I find that because I've had the education to back up what I'm eating, I know what to buy, etc., etc. I find that eating healthy food is actually cheaper than just buying sort of
Junk food.
freeze-dried, sort of hyper-processed, high additives produce. So I actually, again, I think that also contributes to why I have no free time. Is I'm in the kitchen cooking quite frequently, but no, I've dealt with it quite well. I definitely didn't when I first came to uni, but now I'm in quite a good cycle where I'm not spending £500,000 a week on groceries, but I'm eating pretty clean food, pretty clean foods. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. What kind of meals do you mainly cook for yourself? Because I mainly just cook rice and steak, if not spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah. No, I think that's completely natural. I also think, obviously, humans like to have a routine. So, and I eat more or less the same thing every day. I think that's partially a financial reason that I can look at what I'm spending on food, but also the fact that I know what I'm eating, I know it's clean, I know how I'm going to feel. And I think it helps if I feel ill or something, I can then rule out what did it in a way. Because, I'm not eating a million different things a week, but I mainly eat sort of like oats for breakfast, pasta, chicken, and then rice, tuna.
Anything that'll get the job done.
Pretty much, yeah. I have three main goals in each meal, and I'm trying to hit sort of clean. Keyword clean. I don't want any sort of simple sort of processed sugars. Clean carbohydrates, whether that's pasta or rice, oats, etc. I want to have a source of protein that's not just like sort of a supplement, so tuna, chicken, milk, dairy products, whatever, egg. And I need to have some sort of micronutrients, so I need to have sort of greens, fruits, anything like that. I try and hit those goals with every meal, and I think I'm doing it pretty well.
Okay, thank you. Now let's talk about your financial practices.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say you manage your finances each week or month for like rent and tuition pay?
So rent I pay in 3 installments. So rent really hasn't been a problem because as soon as student finance comes through, half of it just goes to rent. In terms of managing my finances, I think right now I don't manage them as much as I used to, purely because I've got into a cycle now where I'm not really spending much money, so I have no need to check my finances. I know I'm going to be okay if I want to buy some extra clothing or whatever you're into. I have a second bank account which I transfer a set amount of money into a week, just to make sure I'm not blowing through my savings account. And yeah.
Would you say you found living at a university flat more cost effective than a regular apartment?
In terms of getting into the centre, yeah, because obviously with Zone 3 it only takes about half an hour to get into the centre. So for work, it's amazing. So for that reason, it's very cost effective. It only costs sort of a few quid to get to the centre and back. Not to mention that if I finish late and the tube's closed, I can just get a bus, I can get an Uber and expense it, and it won't be very expensive. Getting an Uber to this area is maximum 30 quid, and if you're going further outside London, it's going to cost you £500,000. You see what I mean? So, however, if I'm being fully honest with myself, I have realised that if I do move slightly out of London, sort of further down the Thames eastward, I can get an apartment with more space with one of my friends for, I think, £300 less a month.
Oh, really?
So for the most part, so it's effectively like everything except rent is as cheap as it could be. I walk to the supermarket, I walk everywhere I can. It takes 20 minutes to get basically everywhere I need to get.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about rent, I definitely could find somewhere cheaper.
Okay. What skills have you developed from living in university flats? Would you say there's any in particular?
I think again, I'm slightly different to a lot of university students that I've observed. I've seen a lot of people who clearly sort of being at university flats has been the first time they've had any sort of autonomy. I feel like personally, a lot of people would say they've got a lot better at, cooking and laundry and all of that crap. On the flip side, I feel like my time management has just skyrocketed. I think, obviously, whilst I did have a job whilst I was living at home, and I did have sort of responsibilities, I didn't have as many, and there are a lot of things that you don't really consider when you're living at home. So as soon as you move out, what you would have as free time is now just sort of, don't really know how to articulate it, like life admin, if you like. So if I'm not at work, and I'm not studying, and I'm not training, I'm not doing laundry, I'm not washing up, I could still be doing life admin, I could still be ironing shirts, I could still be hoovering my room, tidying my room, doing a food shop, buying literally anything else that's not food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's a very self-controlling way of self-regulating, I think. Thank you very much for the time. It's been a pleasure answering my questions.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.